long, man. It gets all kinds of weird.
Yeah.
Ready for all.
Hello!
Surprise! Okay, so everybody knows that San Diego Comic-Con happens this week. The only reason you're paying attention to me in any way is because it hasn't officially opened yet. It opens tomorrow, so... Hey everybody! While you're bored waiting for Comic-Con news, enjoy our review of comic books that are releasing this week.
Yes.
And there's a bunch of goodies.
There are.
Okay, let's start with stuff I love. I can't even handle it anymore. Curse words. We love curse words so much. Alright, so this is number 6. We left them, Syzygy had sent Ruby Stitch to go and kill Wizard, which there's complications because they have an actual history with each other, including their daughter, which I'm not going to spoil because you may not have read the last one, and it's a huge, twist, and you have to read that book. So, this book basically is all of the other wizards being gathered together by Syzygy, in which he's going to employ them with food and drink and try to talk them into going and doing something about Wizard. I don't know why he even tries, because everybody he sends down there either gets killed by him or they join up with him. Of course, really, Ruby Stitch isn't really that happy with him in any way. But there's cool stuff that happens in this book.
Alright, so I'm going to go through...
I knew you'd love this one!
I do. I love Moonstruck from Image. And so I was not really knowing what to expect. I was like, okay, so it's a guy and a girl, and it looks like they work at a restaurant. Well, so it's a centaur.
What?
He's a centaur.
How else was that?
And
I thought they worked at a Starbucks.
they do. It's not Starbucks per se, but
No.
it's a coffee shop.
Excellent.
And everybody is some magical creature. Whether they can see the future, they can there's a guy that can transform he turns into a bat, and he's in a band with a girl that's a Medusa.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So these are the customers as well, are also...
Yes,
Like,
everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody.
How fun is that?
It's amazing, and I love it. And I love the art, and I love the story, and it's so good.
Image is rocking it out.
Yeah. I don't want to say a lot about it because,
I mean, that's
but
good.
it's really,
It's
really
a good
good.
pitch.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if we have any more Image books, but this is a number 1 for this week, so I thought I should totally give it a look. This is Generation Gone, so this is a really interesting book because it's centering around 3 people who kind of get together. 2 of them are boyfriend and girlfriend, the other one's just a friend of theirs, and they have a dream of hacking into important things and making money somehow out of it, but they're pretty young. They don't really have a real defined plan. And then on the other hand, you have a gentleman who's working for a secret organization, probably government, who is working on a project, but he has a side project that he wants to do that has to do with code for everything. Code for your body, code for people's thoughts, for things that are in your phone, everything is a code.
Cool.
And he wants to somehow make master code to make it so that people can fly or other things.
That's so cool.
And it's one of those things that is this government or entity going to actually give them the money to do it? I don't know. So this is a really cool book. Jump in if you like the beginnings of, it kind of feels like, is this really going to work out the way they want it? Maybe not.
So another independent is Sisters of Sorrow from Boom.
Yes.
It's rated M for a good reason.
Yes.
Lots
well,
of,
she's a nun with guns.
Well, so she's not in the book.
What?
Not
the nun is a lie.
In this issue.
Oh.
In this issue.
Okay.
I'm assuming it'll happen somewhere because, that's just the vibe I get, so. It's a group of, I believe, 4 women that, first there's 5, then there's 4, that live in a, survivors of domestic violence, center.
Okay.
And they're taking refuge there. And, their fifth friend ends up being shot by her
abuser.
Her abuser, yes. And so they kind of kill him on like the second page, and I'm like, alrighty then. And so they're like, maybe we can do this.
So the Sisters of Sorrow are
they're gonna be vigilantes and
pain.
Yeah, they're going to be basically avenge their friend and their own pasts, and it's so good.
That's awesome.
Yes.
All right, what next? Oh, Valiant doing the awesome things.
Yeah.
All right, Secret Weapons number 2. Drops tomorrow. So the cool thing about this, there's 2 things. One, it's written by Eric Heiser, which is the scriptwriter for, oh my gosh, I totally like blanked on it. It's like I watch it like once a week. Arrival. So totally lost my mind. He wrote Arrival, and he also did the script for the upcoming Harbinger film. So if you want to know if he knows his Valiant, yes, he does. So the concept in this is you've got Livewire, who's an original member of the Unity Squad. She controls technology in all kinds of interesting and cool ways. And he's said for the actual script for the movie is that he's actually explored that fully. So that sounds really cool.
I did read the first one.
Yeah.
I forgot. I read a lot on Tuesdays.
So she's picking up the rejects that Harada Corporation used their Psyot activating stuff on, and were not good enough to be used. I think the place where they go and ditch them is called the Willow. It's just an off-site facility, and they essentially at this point have this big thing called Rexo, which is kind of a robot, but there's a twist in this book which makes you kind of wonder if there's more genetics to this robot than we at first thought. And he's out to go and destroy all of these unwanted Psyots that have really dumb powers, but I know that the powers are going to be good for something. So one of them, for example, can make random objects appear. He's no control over what the thing shows up. A lawnmower.
It's how he got
pot
fired
of coffee.
from his job in the first issue.
Yeah,
he made a gun appear.
He shows up with a gun. In a place that doesn't sell guns. So that's bad.
It's like Home Depot. It's where he was working before, basically. And he's like, no, now, and then a gun appears.
Yeah,
it's really funny, but it's also kind of sad because it's just like, no, now he's gonna lose his job.
Yeah, I mean, they really are misfits. So I can talk to birds, and the birds aren't necessarily very helpful.
No, but that's still cool.
So the mystery of Rexo, you get to see a little bit more in this book.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to jump ahead and just keep on going.
You can keep
so
going,
used to reading
because
more.
I only have 2 left.
Oh, you only have 2? Okay.
Yeah.
And I will do my other non-Marvel. All right, so really cool continuation. It's actually called an interlude, which is funny. So this storyline is supposed to take place ahead of or behind the past of where we are right now in the Batman series. So it's basically him telling the story, I think, to Catwoman and while they're like hanging out together in bed. But I'm not sure if that's true. That's the way the last issue ended. So it's called The War of Jokes and Riddles, and it's really, really cool. And this one you get some more jokes/riddles. The question is about whether it is true. But the reason why you really need this book is because there is a new, I'm guessing, bad guy, can't be a hero, that is created in this book. Not just shows up, but is created in this book because of this war. It's a heartbreaking way to get a new bad guy. Yeah. So if you like the first appearances of folks, get Batman 27.
Now Superman 27 is also really, really good. So Superman's been off fighting, and now they're finally going to have a vacation, right? They totally do.
Yeah.
They get an RV. No, they go on an RV and are going to go on a 4th of July History of America tour.
Excellent.
And
I like happy books.
And they take John with them, and they teach him about America's history and respect, because they run into a homeless veteran, and they actually end up finding him a job. So it's a really happy story.
So it's a heartwarming story.
Yeah.
What is it called? This one's called Declaration Part
Declaration
1.
Part 1.
That makes complete sense.
Yes. And I can't wait for the second part. It's so good.
All right. So normally I read all of the Secret Empire tie-ins, but this week I did not. I suspect there's something important that happens in one of the tie-ins just because of what happens in this book. But first, I'm going to talk about the other cool books that dropped from Marvel this week. Totally Awesome Hulk. This is part 4 of the Weapons of Mutant Destruction. This is 21. So for all you guys going out there and hunting things down, I think number 19 is the first appearance of the newest character. Although I can't imagine how that is because he's still not even really created in this book. So they must have some kind of vision of him or show him in a tank or something because he's not formed yet in this book. So if you're looking for that character, I think his official is going to be the 19, but they're still working on it here. So this is them trying to figure out how to break into this facility and rescue this young man who has totally bought into the Reverend Stryker's church of nonsense and is going to go, he's offering himself up for this program, but he has no idea what he's offering himself up for. So I think the name that they've given this character is Batch H, but I could be completely wrong. It is Batch H that's happening, so I think they're just going to call on that. So they've conned this young man into doing that. So follow this storyline, because it's just jumping back and forth between Totally Awesome Hulk and Weapon X. And then I think it's got 2 more parts. So there's not a whole bunch. You'll be okay. And awesome book, Astonishing X-Men #1, for all you people that are longing for a return to characters that you know and love and adventures in which they take. You will love this very much. So this book is basically centers around Psylocke. She gets attacked by an old, I'm not going to tell you who the bad guy is because it kind of messes stuff up, so you can't really enjoy the book as much. So bad guy psychically basically has her under his control, and she cries out and asks for specific X-Men, and some of them just show up because they're hanging out. Like she calls on Raimi LeBeau, and he just happens to have Phantom X hanging out with him because I guess they're best dude bros right now, except for Phantom X is only hanging out with him because he owes him something. Not clear if it's money or he owes him a debt of some sort. There's a debt involved. And so they all show up and they have to deal with the fact that she is not under her own control, and they are trying to figure out how they can break her of this giant psychic control when she's so powerful.
Super Sons! So it's Planet of the Capes Part 1. I thought you'd like that. So it's really a Teen Titans featuring, an appearance of Superboy. Really, and in Robin's eyes, that's what it is.
Probably right.
Because, they're hanging out, protecting the city. Robin kind of just goes off on a jaywalker. And John's just like, no, that's not how we do that in Metropolis. He's like, well, he's never going to jaywalk again now, is he? I was like,
it's tough love right there.
All right, Damien, you've got this. So, they hang out, but of course, John's curfew is 10 o'clock p.m. So, of course,
all crime must take place before dark.
Well, yeah, because that's when Damien takes over, right? Because he does point that out to his parents, and then Superman's just like, but that's when Batman comes out. That's when Bruce comes out dressed up like a bat.
Oh my word!
It's really funny, and
Super Sons has been so good.
So then John has to go home. So then we follow the Teen Titans for a little bit, and they're coming up against a villain who is going to change because they can't do it by themselves. They need John's help.
Perfect.
But he has a curfew, so.
Oh my word. All right.
The curfew is important.
You don't want to get put in detention or.
Yeah. He'll be late for school.
Lose privileges.
Except it's the summer, but.
Oh.
He'll be tired in the morning.
All words. Okay, Secret Empire number 6. It's getting hot up in here. All right, so much that goes on in this book. I don't want to give away too much, but I will tell you that the good guys have figured out there's a traitor in their midst that's working for Hydra, and some of the issue takes place with them all standing in a room together blaming each other, which everyone brings up good points. The thing that I have noticed, and maybe you guys have already noticed about the main Secret Empire storyline, is that you have many different art styles, and I think they're actually a clue. If you look, almost all of the panels and pages that involve the mysterious Steve, who's not with everybody else, who's not the Hydra Steve, all of those are really gorgeous painted art. Including, you have the appearance of Red Skull. We saw him at the end of last issue. So, he's there. This all makes you go, what in the world? And there's another character that shows up in this book that has been missing for a long time, presumed dead. There's implications from that, and all kinds of other really important things that happen in this issue that I can't go into deeply because it ruins a lot of stuff for you, but yes. It is, and this also leads into something really huge that happens in number 7. Oh. It's already dropping the hints.
That's a big book.
And it's super thick. I mean, I know they're $5, but they're totally worth the $5.
Yeah.
All right, I will be, and many other retailers will be in San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con this week. I will try to go live as many times as I can and bring you all the news that I can, and not the same news you can find on all the rest of the main sites. I'm going to bring you the other news. And if you missed that, I'm also bringing a camera with me, and I'm shooting for Woodlands Online. That'll all be downloadable. I'll post it up for everybody. Go find really cool comic books this week. There are many, many more than we got to review this week. It was just a time constraint because everyone's trying to pack and get ready to go. But go to Comic Shop Locator and look up the shop near you because there's some amazing other things that came out this week. There was an Image blind box that came out. Yes. Super, super allocated. If your store got even one, it's going to be a miracle. So thank them for trying really hard to get your product for you. Don't give them a hard time because it was like, for example, we ordered 40 and got 5, and that was a miracle even that. Go and figure out which stores this week. I think Aw Yeah maybe has the Visit from the Curse Words van tour this week.
I think so.
And there's probably a Warp Tour this weekend as well. So go find all this cool thing. That's a valiant venture. So go support all those smallies. We love them very much. We'll see you guys next week.